I first got involved with Jericho because of, I think they have a great mission, and that mission is to help someone who's been homeless. So when Tori Lyons, who's the director of Jericho, talked about trying to do more for veterans, one of the statistics she was using is that 1 in 4 homeless people are veterans. The surprising thing is we're already seeing young men and women from Iraq and Afghanistan who are becoming homeless much, much quicker than anyone from the Vietnam era. And if we could do something to help them before they fall through the cracks, whether it's a counseling or whether it's just to get the world at large or the America at large to really understand that these men and women need help, they've had a terrible experience, it would be so much better than having them go through the horrible situation of becoming homeless.
From what I took from the war and having a friend die was that life is short, that you had to set these goals and you had to meet them. So that's what I did. I came back, I did a lot better in school, and then I pursued a career in finance. And then after that, I knew that what inspired me to make that change, I knew I had to give back to that, and which is how I got involved with Jericho. I felt like if I had to push myself and meet whatever potential that I had, and I felt that completing an Ironman would do that, at least on the physical side. And at the same time, I felt that if I could do an Ironman and raise money for a specific cause for veterans, specifically because just to give back to a big part of my life and of who I am and what inspired me. And I came across Jericho Project, and there are a few things that stood out to me. And mainly, I would say it's their track record, and then it's their model, the way they approach homelessness. And I think the thing that really stood out most was just how they have a faith in people to make a transformation. And I'd made a similar transformation from, like I said, a C student to a straight A student from the war, and that really stood out to me, and that really struck a chord. So I approached them and told them, that I wanted to raise money for them in honor of my friend Gregory. I was able to raise a little over $12,000, and the recreational part of the facility was named after Greg.
At this point in time, we need to recognize that society has a responsibility to these veterans, to veterans of Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, World War II for that matter, to help confront these issues involving depression, issues involving traumatic injury. And the way we do this is to provide support systems. Support systems have to involve compassionate mental health care, have to provide educational opportunities, have to provide good, solid occupational opportunities, have to provide housing and support communities like Jericho is developing, and have to develop a public awareness. Because as a society, we need to recognize that our security and our freedom is based on the contributions of these veterans, and that these veterans stepped up and took the responsibility for protecting our nation at a time when many of us didn't or couldn't because there was no universal service. So therefore, I like to applaud Jericho and all of the other people, the elected officials, the volunteers, who are working to bring the situation of veterans to light. And then final analysis, we need to get more money and more services.